All right, let's talk about something that's absolutely fundamental. Today, we're opening up the playbook that turns those big, ambitious ideas into actual, tangible results. We're diving deep into the art and the science of project management.
I mean, really think about it. It kind of feels like magic, right? You start with this huge, almost impossible sounding goal, and then you blink and it's a real thing. But you and I know it's not magic. It's a system, a really deliberate process designed to tackle all that complexity and drive to a very specific outcome.
And yeah, the answer is project management. It's the structured approach that pulls together systems, techniques, and people to get things done on time and, hopefully, on budget. Think of it like the invisible engine that's powering pretty much every success story you can think of.
Okay, so let's start at the very beginning. To really get a handle on this, we need to be absolutely crystal clear on what a project even is, because before you can manage it, you gotta know what you're dealing with. Now, I want you to focus on two really important words on this slide: temporary and unique. Temporary means it's not forever. It has a very clear start date and a very clear end date. And unique means you're creating something new, something that hasn't been done in exactly the same way before. That's what separates it from just, daily work.
And this chart here just lays out the difference perfectly. A project is building that one specific health center. It's temporary, it has an end date. A program, on the other hand, is bigger. It's that ongoing national healthcare initiative that might involve building lots of health centers. And an operation? Well, that's just the day-to-day business of running the center once it's actually built. See the difference?
So if a project is the car that's going to get you there, then the plan is your map. Let's dig into how creating this blueprint is the absolute foundation for success long before you lay a single brick or write a single line of code.
You've heard this a million times, I'm sure, but it is the absolute gospel when it comes to project management. It's not just a cute saying. Without a solid plan, you're not just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. You are actively, intentionally setting yourself up to fail. The plan is everything.
And a really good plan does all of this for you. It forces you to think ahead, right? It makes sure you're pointed in the right direction, using your money and your time as wisely as possible. But maybe most important of all, it gives everyone clarity. The entire team knows exactly what they're working toward and why it matters.
This is so crucial. Success can't just be a vague feeling. You have to make it concrete. You start with SMART objectives. No fuzzy goals like, let's improve things. Then you figure out every single person who has a stake in this, because their opinions matter. You have to be honest about your limits, your constraints, and from all that you build a checklist. Success isn't a maybe. It's something you can literally track and measure.
All right, so we've got the what and the why all sorted out. Now it's time to talk about the who, because at the end of the day, projects are all about people, and understanding everyone's role is absolutely critical. So at the very top, you've got two essential players. The project sponsor is like the project's champion. They're the ones with the ultimate authority, the ones providing the resources and support. Then you have the project manager. Think of them as the conductor of the orchestra. They're in the weeds managing the day-to-day details, the scope, the schedule, the cost, to make that sponsor's vision a reality. But here's the thing. It's never ever just about the core team. You have stakeholders, and that's basically anyone who has an interest in your project's outcome. It could be your customers, your own employees, maybe even a government agency. A great project manager knows they have to keep all of these different groups in mind, not just the people doing the actual work.
Okay, the plan is locked in. The team is assembled. Now it's time to actually start the journey. And what you'll find is that every single project follows a pretty predictable path, a kind of life cycle, from that first spark of an idea all the way to the finish line.
And this right here is the universal roadmap. First, stage 1, identification. That's the aha moment. Then stage 2, feasibility, where you kick the tires and ask, can we actually do this? Can we afford it? Then comes stage 3, planning, which we just talked about. Now, stage 4, implementation. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's the longest, most active part, where you're building, coding, creating. But it's also where you're constantly monitoring, communicating, and making little adjustments to keep things on track. And finally, you get to stage 5, closure.
And that brings us to that final critical stage. Remember how we said a project is temporary? Well, this is it. That definite end is what makes it a project. But let me tell you, finishing strong is just as important as starting strong.
You can't just throw a party and walk away. A proper closeout is a formal checklist. You have to verify that you actually hit your goals. You need to get that formal sign-off from the client. You have to close out the books, pay every last bill, and you archive everything. This isn't just busy work, it's how you finish like a pro.
And honestly, that very last step, archiving your lessons learned, that might be the most important thing you do for the future. What went right? What went horribly wrong? Why? Documenting this stuff is how you and your organization actually get smarter. The end of one project is basically the start of your education for the next one.
So, there you have it. That's the playbook. The framework is there to take any idea, doesn't matter how big or small, and turn it into a reality. The only question left is, what's the next project you're going to start?